Getting back here to discuss my schedule of conferences and video conferences for the next weeks, the remaining of the month of September. It's an already established schedule, but there could be flexibility depending on the modifications that could occur. September is the month of the 76th session of the United Nations General Assembly from the 14th to the 30th. Looking forward to the high level general debate starting on September 21st, focusing on the aspects of counterterrorism and diplomacy, including the matters of cooperation as it is related to the fields of my monograph. There is also the program of work of the United Nations Security Council under the presidency of the Republic of Ireland. So, following the debates on UNAMA and Afghanistan on Thursday, taking place on Friday, discussions which consist on briefings and consultations on matters of the Middle East and Libya's sanctions. I've already been speaking about Libya in my past videos. This is a make or break moment for the country. As we know, the Libyan people will decide within the next elections. I emphasize on the most important thing is to focus on the future and the development of Libya within the next decade. Next week at the United Nations Security Council, there will be a working session on the 1591 committee, continuing as well the focus on the Middle East and Libya, as well as briefings regarding Sudan and South Sudan. On Friday the 17th, there will be adoption regarding matters of UNAMA, Afghanistan, and the UNITAD, Daesh. The question of Somalia's weapons management assessment is also due next week. Finally, important to add that the UNSMIL and UNITAD mandates expire next week, respectively, on the 15th and the 18th. The following week, on Thursday the 23rd, there will be a focus within the open debates on the maintenance of international peace and security. The report of Colombia is due the following day, one of the most important matters, as the presidency of France has emphasized regarding the matter since the month of July, when France was president of the United Nations Security Council. Following that, during the final week of the Republic of Ireland's presidency at the United Nations Security Council, there will be briefings on non-proliferations of weapons of mass destruction, on Syria, and on peace enforcement. Reports are due also from the mission in Mali and the SSR. Due as well the UNISFA strategic review. Looking forward, and besides the UNGA and the United Nations Security Council, always at the United Nations on September, tomorrow there is the high level humanitarian event on anticipatory action. And on another hand, in partnership with the UNOCT, the IPU is organizing the first global parliamentary summit on counterterrorism, coming after the rich debate of the IPU last June within the framework of the United Nations Counterterrorism Week. On September 30th, there is the discussion on Native America organized by the Holocaust and the United Nations Outreach Program. As you've noticed, I speak about matters of development and environment, hashtag 2050, as well as education and other matters related to what could constitute also strategy for counterterrorism. It's part of the career and of the business, as you know. I do, on another hand, speak about other topics such as sports and cinema, etc., on my social media from a personal perspective on few occasions. That is part of the human nature. Getting back to my schedule here, in order to invoke first the maritime security dialogue that took place with the CSIS earlier this month, on the fact that military solutions can hardly deter terrorism, as stated by Commandant General David Berger. While some countries have chosen the military to be in charge of the counterterrorism strategy, like the case of the Philippines under President Rodrigo Duterte. A very rich question here right now, and looking forward to coming back to it in terms of analysis and also debating it within videos. Among the other conferences throughout September, I spoke already about Global Stage on my past video that will take place on the 15th while the UN is hosting the United Nations General Assembly 76. The Palo Alto Network is organizing also a series of discussions on cloud and security management. There is the Migration Policy Institute Annual Immigration Law and Policy Conference that is on September the 27th and the 28th, as well as other events in Washington. The Aspen Institute, the CSIS, the Hudson Institute, related to the causes of counterterrorism.